says we are live. Do you want to try that link there, Darshit?
Let me try. Yep.
I think I created a new stream. That one looks like it's working. Okay.
Yes.
So,
Sent a new link now.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, you give me new link. So the
And that
second
one-
one is right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just fixing all of this. Cool. Yeah, this one looks like it's working.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So, you wait for more 5 minutes, so we'll start.
I think some people are coming, but they went for food.
I know big group is went for taking a lunch.
Okay.
That might be on the way.
Cool.
Let's
You
just wait
guys
for
don't mind
5 minutes
waiting?
and then we'll start.
Okay.
Right?
That's cool.
Anyhow, the topic is just for 20 minutes.
Okay. So you're gonna talk and build the API all in 20 minutes.
Yes. Actually, build an API is just for 5 minutes.
Okay.
No code, nothing. But the talk, I want to give you a little bit of more background. And then what is the potential, mean potential of the Yeah, it will be interesting. And I will share my steps to build a API as well on this GitLab. So once I share my presentation, you guys can see that.
Cool.
Everyone is having a lunch.
You're using GitLab.
Yeah, I'm using GitLab. Because some of my private repo, GitLab is providing a free. So while in GitHub, you have to pay for your private repo.
What are you hiding? $1 million idea?
Oh, more than that.
No more than that.
Just kidding.
Okay, just remember me, okay?
All the time. All the time. But you are eating in front of me. Smell.
Did you not have lunch?
No, man. Who knows? Feel free to sleep. Are we having a lunch?
Yeah. Cool.
Let me just check with those guys if they are, still on the way or something. Please start.
Right, cool. There's no rush. We have the room for an hour, so
Yeah.
that's cool.
Because
I need to fetch a prize.
yes.
They do that, right? They left like 30 minutes ago. I'm surprised it's taking that long.
About what?
For some of the people
Mhm.
that went like for lunch.
Yeah, I know because around 12 o'clock I was in the corridor and I think many people went for buying a lunch. But still they didn't come back. And so even Gabriel went after them and he is here and he almost finished.
We're here and finished lunch already.
Yeah. little bit hot, or it's okay if I'm reducing?
Turn the sound on.
Yeah, I think
Is that
Since here.
yeah.
what?
I think we should start now. What is
So
that?
Faisal them walk in. Were you waiting?
Oh, then it's a hey, but something is down.
Have you put anything into production with Loopback?
Any production?
Yeah.
No. So Faisal and other guys were there.
They just walked in now.
Okay. So मैं स्टार्ट करूं क्योंकि वेट कर रहे थे आप लोगों के आने की बाकी लोगों को okay so we are joining us within 5 minutes.
Okay, cool.
So let's start this talk, guys. So today I'm going to present on that how we can create an API, REST API within 20 minutes with Loopback. All of you might aware with that what is the REST API, right? And many of you might be playing in day-to-day life with API as well. We all know that API is the heart of for any business and any enterprise or anything nowadays. So with day-to-day life utilization and day-to-day life of implementation with API, sometimes we found that just creating a single endpoint to get a list of users is taking a day to finish it off everything, right? Just writing a control, writing the model, writing the service layer, check that database performance, database query, and all these things, and on top of that unit test, on top of that automation coverage, so many things. Oh, too much things to get just a list of users, and it's taking the time. Okay, but another way, we have a loopback. Loopback, I'm going to give you a more detail on what is the loopback and what is the based on. But prerequisites to work with a loopback or using a loopback is just a little bit of experience of Node.js. I'm not saying that full experience or professional experience of Node.js, but if someone has a little bit of experience of Node.js, that's more than enough to work with a loopback. So we'll see that what you guys can expect from this session. First of all, what is the loopback? Why to use loopback? What is the core concept of loopback? What is the potential of loopback? Features of loopback and its community. Because as soon as we are moving towards the open source, using the open source stuff and open source technology, obviously there are a community mattering to us. Because we need a constant support sometime, and you need a additional extended hands and something like that. So community is always required. So we'll go talk about that one as well. And at last, I'm going to show that from scratch, live demo, how we can create an API in a 20 minutes. With that demo, what you guys can expect is that no code. I'm not going to write any code, but all the endpoints will get ready, get, put, post, fetch, head, user authentication. Yes, user authentication also required nowadays for business API. It's just a data returning, just a simple data to pay for years is okay. But when you are sharing a sensitive information like users or any other information transaction or something, you need authentication as well. So we'll see user authentication, how you can get user authentication as well. And most important thing is that API documentation, which is in the loop, right? So let's move towards that. What is the loopback? So loopback is highly extensible open source built with Node.js, which can help you to build dynamic end-to-end REST API very quickly within no time or no code required. It means Loopback is for audience, not only just developers. Business people can use that. Client side people can use that. Business analyst, sometimes QA as well. So we have in the industry, we can see that there are lots of manual QA as well. They are testing our manual stuff as well. But sometimes to validate that record has been inserted into my database with the right payload or not, they have to go into the database and they have to make a query to check that whatever I tested is there or not. And by that, this way they can verify. But if someone is started using a Loopback, they can build their own API without code, and they no need to go to the database and find out that my record has been inserted or not. With that, just for that own purpose, what API they build, they can fetch and they can see that what is written after manual test. And business people, when business analysts or product managers or someone like that, when they are preparing a feature and something like that, they are adding information, might be able to visit existing data or previous feature stuff for a dependency or something like that. So many times they are coming and asking a developer as well that, hey guys, can you give me quickly this information? But with this, they are independent as well. And main important thing is the sales people. When in enterprise companies, sales people are doing something and they need quickly some data or something like that, they are using a spreadsheet and they are maintaining spreadsheet and making like formulas in a spreadsheet and they are getting information from that. But alongside, if we are get rid of those things and having this API for them, they can build what they want, what data they want, how they can get it. We can see in a demo as well. How can they get it? So with Loopback, main benefit is that quickly create API, saving your time, saving your money as well, because saving your time is saving your money as well. You can connect your API with the different connectors. Connectors here you can consider as a databases. Not only relational database, NoSQL database as well. Not only just limit to the database, email connector, REST API, other REST APIs, so many things you can use as a connectors as well. Another thing is that you can incorporate model relationship and access control for complex API. Day-to-day life, API might not be simple. As soon as your requirement will get evolved, it's going to be complex as well. So in that complex manner, how you can customize your model, which is the heart of your API, and how you can take advantage by using the Loopback. And you can extend your API as well. Next reason. Yes, looks good. Till now, Loopback is providing quick API and everything is that. But why? Why we have to use a Loopback? Loopback allows developer to focus on the solution architecture, business strategy, and user experience by making it easier to generate API. Means when you no need to write a code for very simple requirement like just post a data, just receive a data by ID, so get all the users. So being a developer, they no need to spend the time to write each time the same code again and doing the same thing again, passing through that. So they can focus on solution architect, how they can design their architecture, how they can leverage this into business strategy, and quick turnaround to the customer. Quick delivery, quick feedback. They can go production very quickly. Second, choosing the right framework for your REST API is giving you flexibility. It's not like that what majority of industry using for building a REST API. Thing is that what is the right for your business? What is the right for your requirement? Based on that, developers are choosing that framework. Further maintainability, yes, we have to think about that ongoing maintenance, what you are building. Because if we are keep building on some of the existing stuff or without any correct direction, it might haunt us in a later stage. So here, yes, we have to think about fundamentally when we are thinking about choosing a framework for REST API, along with the available features. So now question is that, yeah, Loopback looks good, but why? Because Loopback is supporting by IBM, which is a trusted source. And the IBM is maintaining this Loopback repository, Loopback package, plus on top of that, industry giants like we can say GoDaddy. Many of you might purchase a domain for themselves or for their personal project or somewhere once in a time, right? And GoDaddy is a pioneer in that. But GoDaddy, where they are using the GoDaddy Loopback in the reseller module. If you go to GoDaddy's reseller module, they are using the Loopback, and it's going well for them. Second, Symantec and Bank of America also using the Loopback to build their API. So all they are getting benefit and constantly supported by IBM, open source as well with community. Important part. What is the core concept of Loopback? First two is that model and application logic. Yes, as I told earlier, API is the heart for any businesses, right? And model is the heart of API. If you design your model correct way, it will maintain good code base. It will help you to smooth transition and all that thing. Because when we are drafting the API, first of all, we are defining a contract. So defining a contract means that data set, data source, right? Based on that, you are building your model. So model is one of the core concepts, but powerful feature of Loopback model is that when you define a model, let's say you define a model for a user account, considering just only three properties. Email, when you create it, last modifier, three property. But as soon as you create this model, in your API, while you are building API, but if you need all other actions like create, read, update, delete, you need to create a core controller and you have to attach a model along with that. But beauty of Loopback is that you just create a model once, it will make your all those actions behind the scene and it will give you. You need to create individual for that. Plus benefit, yes, built-in model for user, role, and next authentication. You can create your custom model as well based on your requirement. Application logic, which is a second core concept. What is the application logic? Yes. Many times we have to add our custom logic in application as well. Everything is ready-made, might not work based on the requirement. You have to extend the scope. You have to change the scope. Or you have to add something additional which you want. So you can do that, and you can add the boot script. You can define your custom middleware same as you are defining in your Express.js. And you can add code to validate your data, which you can test before saving into the database. Another two core concept for Loopback is data source and connectors, which I talked earlier. So Loopback generalizes backend services such as databases, REST APIs, SOAP-based service, and storage service. So here in diagram, you guys can see that as soon as we just define a model, it can be connected with one data source, but data source may have different connectors. Not only just a database, might be sometimes you have to just send out a notification, an email. You don't need to save any business purposes or something like that. There is a plugins available for that as well. And REST APIs as well, SOAP API. Last core concept for Loopback is that Loopback also has their own components. Push notifications. If you are building a mobile application, sometimes you have to push a notification. The ready-made plugins is available. You need to write your custom code or something like that. It's a very mature as well. Second thing is storage components. Storage components for Amazon S3 buckets, Azure, Rackspace. All these industry giants storage components are available with Loopback as well. Just you have to use it. Third-party login. Yes, nowadays everyone wants that login by Facebook, Google, GitLab, GitHub. All these things, third-party logins are built available. Synchronization. Yes. Sometimes with your mobile application, if you add some data, you don't have a connection. But as soon as you get connected with your internet, it can synchronize. That service will get synchronized, and your data can be stored and saved as well. And OAuth 2.0 is supported by OAuth 2.0 as well in the component. So we'll see what is the potential of a Loopback. Many of you already have experience to build an API in a Node.js, and it's built on the Express.js, right? But here is the difference between why Loopback and why it's different from Express.js. Because Loopback has a steep learning curve, while in Express.js is ready. You won't get much from that Express.js to learn yourself. Yes, Loopback is fully configurable. What you want based on your requirement is fully configurable. Third thing is that database integration is available, is not rigidly, tightly coupled with that you have to use this only ORM, this framework, which Express.js is let you know that you have to use some of the NPM package for that database integration or something like that. But here, full extensible up to the user, which database, which data source they want to use. I will show in the demo as well. Built-in API Explorer as well. Yes, that's the biggest point. Built-in API Explorer and documentation. Yeah, you don't need to go to separately install a Swagger and just create your API documentation and maintain it, and you have to just check it every time. It's inbuilt. Everything is ready. Yes. Here, inbuilt ORM model with Juggle and various drivers as well. There's a lots of other drivers are available. I can say most of that what we are using in the day-to-day life, all the drivers are available for ORM. And yes, built-in access level controls, which can help you for authentications and all that, which endpoint, what to restrict and how to restrict for which user, and all these things we are going to see in the demo as well. Yeah. We'll see features of Loopback and its community. What is the feature? Yes, first of all, open source, no paid version, supported by IBM, supporting most of operating system. Yes, Loopback is working fine, but it's something also about deployment. Something will come upon deployment. How is it going to work? Yes, it's supporting by most of operating systems, so easy to deploy. Having numerous connectors to access enterprise and backend data system. Loopback itself giving a CLI tool for use. Providing built-in API Explorer, which we talked earlier. Allowing developer to create a model based on that schema. So if developer knows that schema is already exist and they want to create a model with that, it's allowing. It's not like that tightly bind that what you have and you have to build just only that. And providing SDK for iOS, Android, and AngularJS to easily create client applications. Community, yes, because why am I emphasizing on community? Before this session, half an hour ago, their NPM package was down. It was getting a timeout for Loopback. I was trying to run just pick one demo, and it's totally down. And then I tried to reach out them on Twitter and Twitter. And they quickly responded. Within 5 minutes, it came online. And Faisal was one of the guy who also see that as well, how quick they are responding and how quick they are fixing, taking care of consumers, which is the main beauty of them. And they are always up for consumer. And live chat with other developers as well as Loopback developers available in a Glitter. So in case if you have some doubt or on top of the documentation, if you want to get an answer to implement or what you are stuck or something, You can always go to the data, put your questions. Large community, people will answer your question and query will get sorted. GitHub, yes, GitHub, different examples, different things are available, and they have good, rich documentation for almost everything they can. It's very large. So yes, now we are going to see demo how we can create a REST API in 20 minutes with MySQL database. I'm going to use MySQL as a database. So yes, you can use any console to run all these commands and create all that. So I'm going to run commands. First of all, we have to install CLI, Loopback CLI to get started with. That's the first step. So I'm going to install the Loopback CLI.
Darshit, can you zoom in, please? Can you zoom in?
Zoom in. Seems all right, or more?
Yeah.
Seems all right? Okay. Okay. So first step, we have to install CLI. It will take a little bit of time, and it will prepare you for CLI. So meantime, CLI will get installed. We'll see that with CLI, what other things you can, what other commands are available. Not with just limit with a data source or model or something like that. There are so many other commands available in a Loopback for different purpose, different occasion, and we can take advantage of that as soon as we go further for that. So we'll wait a little bit extra to get finished. Seems like it's almost there. Yes. Also, I had a talk with Loopback. Usually, people are saying a strong loop, which is their earlier name. Last week, I had a talk with them. Some of our deprecated packages are available in their CLI. They are working on that, and they are going to look after that also. Hopefully, in like a couple of months, we'll have we can see all the warnings and everything will go away. So yes, it's installed. So now it's a alias, or we can say command, just LB. It will ask you that what is the name of your application. We can say that Loopback taste. It will ask you that in which directory you want to contain that. I have one directory which is empty. I'm going to use that one in which is a brown bag. Okay. They have right now currently 3.x version. They are already working on a beta 4.x as well, but it's not in the market. So 3.x is good to use, and it's tested. So all good. So I'm going to use a 3.x. Here, which kind of application do you have in mind? That's the important thing, because as I earlier mentioned that it might be useful for business people, for sales people, and developer as well. Yes, API server, it will create a Loopback API with local user authentication. Second is that you can choose empty server, just empty Loopback API, which is just called for your end. Without any configured model or data source. Yeah, hello world to see the testing purpose, and nodes. Just you need just in-memory storage or something like that to create a node, and you want to see by getting those data in the future or something like that. So I'm going to use API server because we are going to show the demo that with database. After this, it will scaffold our application, same as we are scaffolding our application with React. So it shouldn't be take that long. Once your application will get started, it will prompt a couple of commands to follow it. It's very intelligent. It will tell you that what is the next step, what we have to do. So no need to mug up those commands, or no need to just keep a note somewhere that okay, always I have to follow this template. Now, every time you create new, it will tell you, it will prompt with commands what to do that. We will see here. And another thing with that, see, as I say earlier, that you guys can see uh, prompt your commands. What are the create model in your application? You can run your application and all that. So, and it's giving just the information. Yes. So our application has been scaffolded. Let's go to the application, and so I can show you. That should come back, which is just be created. This is scaffolded. There. So now let's again open the console. Down back. Okay, what is the next step? We are going to connect this scaffolded application with a database. So for that, there's a command lb data source. So with as soon as you enter this command, it will ask you that what data source you are, what is the name of your data source. So let me just put that it's a count ds. Yes, here it is. I was all the time talking about lots of connectors they have. Here is the option in memory database, in memory key value connector. You can just add around IBM object store, IBM DB2, CouchDB, Redis, MongoDB, MySQL, Postgres, Oracle, Microsoft SQL, Redis services, SOAP, Couchbase, Neo4j, Kafka. So many, all the options are available. There, all the connectors are available. Like what's available in market, everything is there. So no need to worry that it will support in my application or not. So here in this case, we are going to use by MySQL because I have MySQL and I can show that how we can do that. Okay, I choose a MySQL. It will ask that connection string. If I have connection string, if I'm adding a connection string, it will override other settings. But I don't have, and I'm going to use my local database. So you can just for empty fields, just enter. It will ask you that what is the host? Yeah, my local is the local host, port, user, root, your local database password. What is that? And database. Yeah. Here you can use your existing database or you can create new. So let me just show you. We will create a new database. We're going to create a new database. You can say Loopback. Loopback comeback. Created. Now we have to create a table. So we are going to tell table name is which is a count. Need a columns. Yeah. First we are going to create ID, which is auto increment and primary key. We are going to say email. Data type we can say pet share and 255 character length. Next one is created it, which is the data type is again date. All right, and last one is that last modified. 8, and same data type which we use previous, which is a date. All right, and let's create a table. Awesome. Table created. Let's go back to here, and we give this name which is a loopback underscore brownback. Right. Loopback underscore brownback. You can connect new data source. We'll see. Fine. You see that what y is throwing in error. So
That's
validation error.
It's just trying to create the database for you and telling you that you already got one. That's that name.
No. With this, it won't try to create a database because we are giving all the detail. If you want to create a database, yes, we have to write code to create a database, scaffold our database in application. But here, it will just try to connect with your database, but might be underscore they are not accepting. So we can just quickly go and change it.
Name is not unique.
Back over the recipe. Wrong back. The Yep.
It's account DS2.
Yeah. Because we have already one data set which we didn't clear account DS. We have, if we want to use the same data source name, we have to clear it. But right now in a demo we are not going to clear.
So one data source can have multiple connectors.
Yes.
Okay.
Host local host user root database. I'm going to use another existing database if it's not accepting underscore, which is a loopback. I already had a database with the same schema, email, created it, and last modified it, and we'll see. We are going to use this existing database. Yeah, it's all right. So means it's not accepting by underscore. Awesome. So our application is connected with the database. Now, what next? Yes, we need a model. So LB model. We ask you that what is the model name? Which is a this is the correct one, account DS2, which we successfully connected. So we are going to choose that data source. Yes, we need a persistent model. There's a lot of option is that which kind of model base class you require. ACL access token just only for application, but no, we need a persistent model. So we are going to use persistent model. You want to expose account via REST API? Yes, because if you are exposing, then we can utilize. So let's say yes. Custom rule from use built-in SQL? No. We can just leave empty. Okay, common model or server only? Yeah, we need a server because if you are going with a server model, it will be check with our data source and databases as well. So we can go with a server. Okay, another error.
No.
Model invalid model definition. Which is the count. Okay. LB model. Because it seems like that earlier when I was running a demo and NPM was down, I was doing in the same directory. Might be this thing is available. That is why it's not accepting earlier for data source as well. That's the correct reason. So yes, it will ask you about that. What properties name are there? Yeah, we added 3 field in a table, like which is the email, created date, and last modified. Yes, so we need the same properties for your model, which is email. It will ask you that which data type you want. So we are going to use the string. It's a required field. No, in database we didn't mark it as a required field, so we are just going to leave an empty. Do you need any default value for this property or something like that? No, just leave it empty. Next one, which is that created date. Yes, it's a date. You require no empty. Yep, default value. Last is that last modified. Date again is date required no leave empty. Means we are almost done, and it's asking again adding another property. If you don't want to, just press enter. It will prepare it. So now our scaffolding is done, connected with the data source, and our model also ready. So time to test our application. So which is node, and it's giving you. I'm just going to copy this URL.
Maybe it's in the other window.
Yeah. All right. So this is earlier error I was talking about. At 12 o'clock it was a gateway timeout. So now let's explore. You see, yes. Here our APIs are ready. We just create a data source. We didn't write any particular action, which is a get, put, post, or anything. But if you go to here, and which we created account to, all these actions are inbuilt. So in behind the scene back with your data source. No need to write individually for that one. Patch, just get everything. If you need get anything by ID, or you need to just update it, or you just need to check that this object is exist or not. We have add, delete as well. Everything is available. Yeah. So now we are going to just because we already connected with the existing database. So if you are going to do get method and paste this as well, it should return a 2 record because in the database there is a 2 record. And no such table because it's attaching with account 2, and we have that's why I just open it, because in database we have just only one table, which is account. We don't have account 2. So in this kind of thing, you have to just create a table and attach with the data source. It will work. But if we go further, we have another data source, which is this one already there, and here you can execute it. and it's required authorization, user authorization, because when I was earlier testing, I added authorization as well. How to apply authorization, how to use it, I'm going to show right now. So consider that right now all the authorization, so we can get from inbuilt user authorization. So here we have users, we have seen that. So if you expand, can someone just step down so I can? So we'll create a one user. Yes, inbuilt users, username dp1, email is verified. Yes, first time if you are passing as a verified, but actually account is not verified, it will show in the response as well. And we need a password to create a user as well. So password same dp1, and we are going to create a user. So user created, and here, yeah, as I told that email account is not verified. So now we need an authentication for this user. How we can get it? There is a endpoint which called user/login, and we need to generate a token for that. So generate a token. We are going to pass credential, username, so dp1, password dp1.
Semicolon.
Oh, yeah. It's all right. Work. We got a token. We're going to copy that one. You can put a access token over there. So token has been set. Let's go to that top where we got a 401 unauthorized. So now we are going to again. We will see what is what. It is unauthorized. So
Because the email was not verified.
no. Email with email verification as just is for to check that account is not a spam account or not robotic account. That for that purpose only. When you are using inbuilt user and role authentication component from Loopback. So we'll see LB ACL. You see that what we have. Which model we have to go? Obviously, for this term is account, all methods and properties, or any single method. Yes, we are going to single method, and how that single method will work. You can see for is just here for us is a get, but in the loopback terminology, there is a find. Here you can see that account underscore find or account find by ID. So find by ID, find, all these are find one, all these are name which endpoint or which method you want to restrict. So which is we can go with method name which is a find for all user. Yes, all user. What you want to do? You want to explicitly grant access? Yes, we give access. Now go back. Will will regenerate the token because we just gave a authentication to one method, and before that you have to log out. It won't come because we didn't start the application. Okay, so application has been started. It's also asking about authentication for that. Okay.
So you just restarted the application, so whether you have to log in again.
We can use existing one, username, DB1. Password. It's alright. Check is alright, yep. Mention it to me. Links failed because what we did explicitly just run access on down. Because explicitly we grant access just only for one method. If so now what we are going to do is ACL or before that you can go to the models which we are using account and account.json. You can see that what other ACLs are there. So role and explicitly denies that permission, execute for just one method. So for a moment, let's delete. For account, we remove all the authentications and the thing should work. Yeah, it's written data. Now because we remove already authentications because it was earlier applied and it was in a different state because I was just doing the testing. So we got a 2 record back. Now I'm going to show you actual authentication that how authentication can work with that for particular one method or many method. Because now we have clear access control. We SEL account all method all users. We are going to just deny access for everyone, and if we are running now, it will return a 401 because we just put a validation or authentication on all the methods. So just 401. But now what we need that okay, we need at least one method where we can see our authentication is working. So we are going back again to LBSEL account. We are going to choose single method, which is find, and all the users explicitly grant an access. So now node 0, node, we can start it. Let's refresh. Yes, we got So let's go to the user, create a new token. So we'll recreate a token of the.
We're missing a quote from Darshit.
Oh, yeah. Nice spot, Kelly. Thank you. So, okay, even for user, we didn't allow. We just went for one method, which is a find, and we are using a different method. So obviously, we are not giving any explicit authentication. So it means other endpoints are secure for us as well. You can choose by what you want for that specific thing. That's it.
Cool.
Any particular question?
Yeah, can we see the code that it generates?
Sure. Let's go ahead. Let's stop it.
So, like, how does it do the routes? And how does it?
So there is no any specific route. As I say that in root.js, let me just close that terminal.
Being a little bit smaller.
Is readable might be for other people, not readable over the YouTube. So this is your entry point of your application, and which is hard coded.
Yeah. So it's just configuration.
Yeah, just a configuration. And if you want to extend this one in your way right now, just it's giving like API accounts underscore find is their own method, right? Which Loopback is there. But if you want to customize by yourself, just API account / get or get by ID or something like that instead of find, you can customize over there as well. And if you want to change with authentication, so there is a authentication as well. Then as soon as you apply LB ECL, it will enable the authentication for your application server. We can say that. And as I say earlier, you can see different data sources. What we applied by command line, you can see it's generated over here. And alongside server, there is a client as well. And if you want to put any specific thing inside a client to extend your application, you can. But it's ES link and everything is there as well. So if you are doing any customization, it will support you over there as well. Any other question? If not, then I have some gifts to give away. Whoever give answer of question or nearby answer, not fully correct answer.
So the good thing is less competition now.
So yeah. So in my presentation, I talked about core concept of Loopback, and there was one of our concept which is a Loopback components. So can anyone tell me that how many Loopback components I talked about, or which are there?
Database.
Raise your finger and answer. No worries. Nearby answer can go for this.
So I know, but I won't answer because it would be unfair because I already read about loopbacks. So I'll let you guys try, and then if nobody can answer, then I'll answer.
So one more candidate down. So let's competition. Up to you guys.
You mean like connectors or?
Loopback components.
Oh.
Yes, connectors and data source are a part of heart of Loopback. But on top of that, Loopback is providing a components which you can just leverage.
Like
You can use it.
notification, push notification. What else was there?
Nice, nice.
Then you have to answer one more.
He already started, and if someone like have good memory and someone can answer more than Kerry, Still he is in the race. So when you answer, they can get attendee swag pack, which MYB sponsoring this time.
Is there one for routing?
Now, look at component. One answer you all guys have, which Carrie already told about. Okay, I can give a hint. If you want to store something,
Database.
database is not for storage. Right? Right? Nearby? Yep. Anything else? Shall I give more hint?
Yes.
Then I'm gonna take away this.
Eight.
Yep.
But I cannot name all of it.
Okay. OAuth 2.0,
Authentication.
third-party login, synchronization,
Yes.
and rest of which you guys give answer.
Email.
So total 5 components are there: push notification, storage component, synchronization, OAuth, and third-party login. 5 components are there in the Loopback, but we have tied 2 candidates, and luckily we have 2 prize sponsors, so we are going to split out.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for attending.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Thank you. You can have a MYB t-shirt. Cool. And then this t-shirt for you, and you guys can choose who wants this for the phone, who's that for their phone. This is one of those things to hold your phone.
Oh, okay.
This one's to keep like your pop card and stuff.
Thank you.
Carry your lucky man.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Benefit
Darshit.
of staying until last.
Exactly.
Nice talk. Man.
Thank you.